Hi students, very good morning to everyone. Welcome to the online classes for the subject of metal cutting and machine tools. Now we are going to discuss topic on Unit 3. Myself M. Rajesh from the Department of Mechanical Engineering, MVR College of Engineering and Technology. Okay, so what are the today's topics that I am going to discuss are today I am completely focusing upon the drilling machine. I am focusing and discussing about the drilling machine, the definition of the drilling machine, the parts of the drilling machine, the types and the operations of the drilling machine. Okay, so today's complete lecture we are going to focus on one of the most important operations that is performed for removing the material, that is nothing but the drilling. Okay, so let us move on to our lecture. So first, as we all know, what is meant by this drilling operation or the definition of the drilling machine. So what is drilling? Drilling is nothing but making an hole by using of a drill bit. This is the general known definition. Or if you ask a layman what is meant by drilling, he gives you the answer. Drilling is nothing but whenever we need a hole, okay, we use this drilling operation or we use this drilling process. Now let us see the definition of this drilling. Okay, so first of all, drilling is a material removal or cutting process, right? What it is? It is a material removal or cutting process in which the tool uses a drill bit to cut a hole of circular cross section in solid materials. Okay, what it is? So generally we all know that drilling is a first point is a material removal or cutting process. Okay, how it is used? It is using a tool. Okay, the tool we call it as a drill bit. The tool we call it as a drill bit. Why it is used? To cut a hole of circular cross section. Where it is used? In case of solid materials. Okay, by now I think everyone who is listening this lecture will come across the basic definition of the drilling. What it is? I'm repeating once again. So first we should remember what, how, where. Okay, remember these three terms: what, how and where. So what means, what is the process? It is a material removal process. Okay, next, how it is removing? It is removing by means of a tool bit. Okay, where it is removing? It is removing in solid materials in the form of circular cross section. Okay, so these three are the basic terms to be remembered: what, how and where. Okay, so this is the most common machining process. One estimate is that 75% of the all cutting material removed comes from the drilling operation. So as we all know from our general sense, okay, this drilling is one of the most common machining operation. So you don't get confused again, sir, what is meant by this machining operation? Don't get confused. Okay, what all the process we do in order to get the required shape and size, that all the process comes under the machining process only. So that is the reason why I am calling the drilling also a machining process. And what it is? Majority, if you take some 100% of the work, so 75% of the work will be majority concentrated on the process of the drilling. Why it is concentrated? Because the material removal takes place in the process of drilling only. Okay, next one. So As we have understood what is meant by drilling, now we are going to look into the machine parts. Okay, now machine parts of the drilling. So the drilling machine consists of the following parts. First one is the base, next column or the pillar, next arm, next work table, next drill head, next feed mechanism, next spindle, next drill jigs, next one is the chuck, next one is the electric motor, and last one is the pulleys or the gears. So generally if you consider any drilling machine, the drilling machine will generally consist of the following parts that I have been listed here. What are they? Base, column or the pillar, arm, work table, drill head, feed mechanism, spindle, drill jigs, chuck, electric motor, pulley at the gates. So now what we are going to do is, for our better understanding, we are going to discuss and study about each and every part that is been mentioned here. Okay. So first one is the base. Okay. First one is the base. So as I have shown the figure of the drilling machine here, you can identify where the base is located. So you can clearly identify from this picture that is been given over here. So this is the base part, right? This is the base part. So from our naked eye, what we can observe, the function of this base part is, the base part carries the entire weight of the machine. Okay, this base part will be carrying all this weight of the machine, and where this weight will be carried, it will be just carried to the or transferred to the ground. Okay, this is the function of the base. Okay, so what it is given here, it is one of the main parts of the drilling machine. It carries the entire weight of the machine and transfers the weight to the ground, as what we have discussed. And the second one is, the base of the drilling machine is generally made up of cast iron or steel, and it is very rigid. Okay, so we know why this base is used. This base is used to carry the entire weight. And by which material is this generally made? This is generally made up of steel or cast iron, and it is very rigid. What is rigidness? So whenever this load is acting on this base, the base should not get deformed. Okay, if the base is not getting deformed, so that property is called as rigid or rigidness. Okay. So you can see at the top of the base there are some slots provided to support the big jobs. Okay, you can see here on the top of the base, the slots are also provided in order to support the big jobs. Next, at one end of the base, a radial column or the pillar is situated. Okay, as we can see from the figure. Okay, at one end of this, a radial column, so this is the column or the pillar is situated. So what are the points that we have discussed here? So generally the base is used for carrying the weight, and it is very rigid, and the slot is provided for supporting the big jobs, and also to one end of this, the radial column or the pillar is attached. This is the summary of the base that we have discussed. Okay, and also, so the base is generally bolted with the ground, or in some case the base is supported by 2 or 4 legs. So this base should be rigidly mounted to the ground. Why? In order to avoid the vibrations. Okay, so you can see here This is a 2D diagram and this is a 3D figure I have given over here. You can see here there are different parts that we have mentioned in our previous slide, and I have also said that we are going to discuss about all these parts. Just identify and try to understand the difference between the 2D figure and this 3D figure. So both the figures are same, but the representation is different. You can see this is the base and here this is the base. Okay, the spindle is over here, the spindle is over here, and also the column is over here. This is the column, and you will be having the pulleys, all these arrangements in this box. You'll be having electric motor. This is the electric motor and this is the electric motor. Okay, this is a drill chuck. You can see this is a drill chuck and this is a drill. Okay, as we have shown here, this is the table. Okay, so we have, if you can clearly identify the various parts that are associated, it will be quite easy for you to understand the function of that parts. Okay, I hope everyone have seen these diagrams by now, the difference on comparison with the 2D and the 3D. Okay, so next one is the upper arm. What is the upper arm? At the top of the column, at the top of the column, see at the top of this column, this is the column, right? There is an upper arm which carries the drill head and also the house of driving mechanism. This is the upper arm. Okay, all this is carrying the house of the driving mechanism, and also the upper arm is also made up of same material as the base. Okay, why it is made up of same material as the base? Because it carries the driving unit or driving mechanism, so the structure should be much rigid. Okay, and also in some drilling machine a guideway is provided so that the drill head can slide over. Okay, in some case of sophisticated machine, okay, guideways are provided. What are the guideways? Guideways are nothing but the, you can just think they are the platforms which can guide the tool. So this is about the upper arm. Next one is the column or the pillar. So this is the column or the pillar. You can call it as the column or the pillar. The column or pillar is situated on one side of the base. You can see this is the base. To this base at one side or the one end, this column or the pillar is attached. So in general we use the radial column so that the movement of arm is possible in clockwise and the anti-clockwise direction. Okay, generally we can use two kinds of column, but generally we prefer the radial column. Why? Because if you are using this radial column, see the movement is possible in both the clockwise and the anti-clockwise direction. Okay, and the what by which material this column is made up of? The column is also made up of cast iron and steel, and it is very rigid so that it can carry the load on the arm as well as the drill head. Okay, this arm is so this column is carrying this arm. Okay, so in order to carry this arm and the drill, okay, this column also should be very rigid in structure. A sliding table is, see, this is the sliding table. Okay, a sliding table is mounted on the column so that the column can have, so that the table can have the up and down motion according to the need. So you can see this is the column, right? To this column, this table is attached. This table can be moved in the upward and the downward direction based on our requirement. Okay. Next one is the work table. So the work table, this is the work table. So this work table is generally made up of cast iron and it is mounted on the column as we have discussed previously in the previous slide. So this column is mounted on, this table is mounted on this column, and you can see the T slots are provided on the top surface of the table, and maybe in some table there will be vice. Okay, so generally in order to make sure that our workpiece gets stick in, we can go for either T slots or the second procedure or the step is in order to take out a vice. Okay, we can, if we can use a vice, we can fix our workpiece. Okay, so what is the functionality of this table? The table can move up and down and also right and left. Why it is to be moved? Because based on our requirement only we can move our table. Again, we can move in the top position or the bottom position or in the left position or the right position. Okay, so that the up and down motion of the tool can be given by hand. Okay, generally the up and down motion can be given by hand, and also by we can use some kind of electrical mechanism also. Okay, generally we can also use this rack and pinion mechanism for vertical movement of this table. Okay, this is about the work table. Next one is a drill head. Okay, on one side of the arm a drill head is mounted. It consists of various feed and the driving mechanism. Okay, the drill, see, you can see this is the check. A drill check is mounted on it. A drill head can slide up and down as per the requirement of the job. You can see here, this is a check, and in this check it is provided by a drill. Okay, we can move it based on our requirement of the machining of the tool. Okay, generally the V-type belts are provided to transform the power from the motor to the pulley, and from pulley to the mechanical power is transferred by the drill head. So generally, as we had discussed in the earlier class also, we have discussed about cross belt drive and open belt drive. Likewise, in order to transmit the power, we are going to use the V-type belts. And also, the different types of speed can be generated by cone pulley mechanism as well as a gate train mechanism. Okay. Next one is a feed mechanism. Okay. So you can see in a drill machine we use an electric motor, V-belt, and a pulley to transfer the power from motor to the spindle. You can see this is a drilling machine, right? How the power is transmitted is, so this is the electric motor. We are going to switch on the electric motor. Whenever we are going to switch on this motor, from this motor a belt is connected. From the belt a pulley, it is the power is transmitted to the pulley, and from there it is transmitted to the spindle. Okay, in order to have this feed mechanism, the spindle has to be moved. In order to move the spindle, we are getting this power connection. I mean, the movement of the spindle can be obtained from the electric motor through the V-belt and the pulley. Okay. For the up and down motion of the drill, we use hand as well as automatic feed of an electrical motion. Okay, this in order to have this up and down motion, we can either use for manual or also automatic by an electric motor. So generally the rack and pinion is used, and it is used to convert the rotational motion or the rotational movement from the electric motor into a straight line movement. You can see here what is the movement that is been given to this drill bit. It is nothing but a nothing but a straight line motion. Okay. Next one is a spindle. Next one is a spindle. What is the spindle? It is a circular taper shaft which helps to hold the drill check. Okay. So we'll be having this drill check, and in this drill check we are going to place the spindle. Okay, and generally it is made up of high carbon steel or stainless steel or steel alloys, and also it transfers the rotary motion from the drill head to the drill jigs. Okay, so why this rotary motion has to be transferred? So obviously we are having this straight line motion, right? In order to have this straight line motion, so one kind of motion is to be transmitted into the another kind. Okay, the spindle also can move up and down with the help of the rack and pinion mechanism, as we have already discussed how this spindle can move. This can move up and down by means of the rack and pinion arrangement. Okay, next one is the chuck. You can see this is the chuck. Okay, where it is placed, it is mounted on the lower end of the spindle. Okay, this chuck is mounted on the lower end of the spindle. So why it is used? It is used to hold the drill jig. This is used to hold the drill jig. Also a key hole is provided to change the drill jigs. Okay, so you can see this drill jigs are always generally self-centering. What is the self-centering? So whatever might be the operation in a, they will be getting back to their position. Okay, so what is the check we generally used? We generally use 3-jar check, and it is made up of special Li type. Okay, so next one is the electric motor. So this electric motor is very important in case of this drilling machine. So in the drilling machine we use a single phase AC motor. So and it has an RPM of around 600 to 5000, or also maybe more for high duty drilling machine. Based on our requirement, we are going to change our electric motor and the RPM. Okay, next one is the pulley or the gears. Where this pulley or the gears are used? The pulley or the gears are used to transmit the power and also for getting the different speed. Okay, in a drilling machine we used bevel gear to transmit the power at an angle of 90 degrees. Okay, so as we have already discussed in the previous slide, this from the motor, the motion has to be converted into a straight line motion. So for this conversion of the straight line motion, we are passing through different steps, and this pulley or the gears is one of the step. And why it is used to transmit the power for getting the different speed. Okay, so now we have discussed about the definition and the different types of this drilling machine. Now we are going to discuss how does power transmission happen in a drilling machine. Okay, the power transmission in the drilling machine is to transmit the power for its working. The power is, as we have already discussed in the previous slides, the power is supplied from the electric motor. The process of transmission takes place with the help of V-belt and a pair of pulley stacks opposite to each other. The speed of the spindle is fixed or controlled with the help of the pulley stacks. So how it is happening? So we are having this power from the electric motor. From this electric motor, the transmission happens from the V-belt and also from the pair of the pulley stacks. So from there, it is finally reaching with the help of the pulley stacks to the spindle. Okay. So types of the drilling machine. We'll be quickly seeing about what are the different types of drilling machines. First one is a portable, sensitive. In the sensitive, we have two: bench mounting sensitive drilling machine and floor column upright drilling machine. The third one is the upright drilling machine. In that we have round column upright drilling machine and the box column upright drilling machine. The fourth one is a radial drilling machine. In that we have plain drilling machine and the universal drilling machine and the semi-universal drilling machine. Fifth one is a gang drilling machine. Sixth one is the multi-spindle machine. Seventh one is the automatic drilling machine. Eighth one is the deep hole drilling machine. Ninth one is the vertical deep hole drilling machine, and last one is the horizontal deep hole drilling machine. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about this drilling machine, the summary of this drilling machines. Okay, first one is the portable drilling machine. You can see, I think you have seen this types of drilling machine at your workplaces or at your houses. So these types of drilling machines are commonly used in all workshops. And why they are used? They are used to drill small sized holes, and it is generally operated by hand. The workpieces where the hole is to be drilled is held in a vise. I think everyone might have seen this kind of drilling machine. So for example, if you're fitting your AC in your houses, we are going to use this kind of portable drilling machine, and we are going to drill the holes in a wall, and we are going to take out the pipes from that wall to the connection of this ACs. Okay. Next one is the sensitive drilling machine. You can see this is one of the sensitive drilling machine. So, and why are this sensitive drilling machines are used? These types of drilling machines are used for drilling small holes at higher speeds in lighter jobs or workpieces. Okay, you just simply know where it is used. Okay, these are generally used for drilling small holes. Okay, so since the operator senses the cutting action at any instant, it is called as a sensitive drilling machine. Okay, what is that meaning? Whenever the operator who is handling this, he can sense the cutting action. So that the reason why it is called as a sensitive drilling machine. And these machines are capable of drilling small holes of diameter of as small as 0.35 mm to 15 mm. Okay, this can be capable of having the small size holes of 0.35 to 15 mm, and also they can have at a higher RPM of 2000. Okay, next one is the upright drilling machine. So it is larger in size and it is stronger than the sensitive drilling machine. It is used for drilling medium and the large sized holes. Okay, so based on the application, we are going to change our drilling machine. So in case of this upright drilling machine, we can use this upright drilling machine for drilling the large sized holes. And also based on the type of the column is, it can be classified on the round column and the box column upright drilling machines. Okay, next one is a radial drilling machine. You can see in this schematic, this is a radial drilling machine. So what it consists of is, it consists of the base comma column radial arm comma drill head and the speed and the spindle speed and the feed mechanism. Okay, next one is the gang drilling machine. If you can see in this figure, if you can clearly observe in this figure what it this machine consists of. This machine consists of number of drill heads. So you can see here, these are the drill heads. Okay, and you can observe these drill heads are placed side by side. Okay, so that what happens when we place this drill head side by side are more than one hole of the same or different sizes can be drilled at the same time on the same job or the different jobs. Okay, when we want more than one hole, we can use this gang drilling machine. Okay, next one is the multi spindle drilling machine. You can see here, these are the spindles. Okay, these are the spindles. Will be having a number of spindles over here. So, and this kind of machine is, this is also similar to the gang drilling machine, but in case of gang drilling machine, for each and every spindle we are having one head. But in case of this multi spindle drilling, we are having this multiple spindles. Okay, you can see here, this machine tool is similar to the gang drilling machine, and in this construction it is able to drill the number of hole in same workpiece simultaneously and do reproduce the same work in a number of similar jobs. Okay, next one is the automatic drilling machine. As the name itself suggests, it is automatic, means the holes or the material that is to be removed will be done automatically. You can see this type of machines can perform a series of machining operations at successive units and transfer the work from one unit to the another automatically. That means whatever the holes that are to be machined. Okay, this without the intervention of the labor, by using of a program or coding, we are going to remove the material. Okay, next one is the deep hole drilling machine. Okay, this type may be either horizontal or the vertical type of machine, and in this drilling machine, the part to be drilled is rotated, and the drill bit that makes the hole is kept stationary. Okay, you can see here the special case for this deep hole machine is, so the part that is to be drilled, in which, I mean, for example, if you're taking a part, and in that part, if you want to make a hole, that part is rotated. Okay, that part is rotated, and the drill bit is kept stationary. Okay, and also the deep drilling is done in components like rifles, barrels, crankshafts, long shafts, etc. Okay, so these are the different types of drilling machines so far. So now I'm just summarizing the lecture what we have discussed today. In this lecture we have completely focused on the what is meant by we have discussed what is meant by drilling, and what is the basic definition of the drilling we have discussed, and we have discussed what are the parts of the drilling machine, and finally we have discussed what are the different types of drilling machine. Okay, and in the coming lecture we'll be discussing about the another kind of topic. Okay, thank you, bye bye.